So this is our stone bridge project. We built this last fall. This is a big old hunk of limestone we drug up from down in the creek. That's some limestone we salvaged. We poured some pillars. We got some rebar going. This is part of the stone bridge road project. We started working on this last fall. You can tell we took our 555 backhoe. We blazed a trail through the woods to at least get things cleared out of the way. And if we look this way, we got a trail blazed that way as well. And the creek crossing complete with the stone bridge we built. There's still some more work to do on that stone bridge and quite a bit of work to do on this road, but once it got too wet last fall for two-wheel drive backhoe, we pulled off and we said, well, we'll come back to it when it dries out the following summer. And it has started to dry out, but we got something else to use back here too. Yeah, we got this little Caterpillar D4 that we're renting from Dirt Perfect to polish this thing off. The next big thing on this road project is we've also got a stream that crosses, a little ditch that only flows when it rains, crosses right here. We need to get a culvert crossing in. I'm too frugal to pay for a full price culvert, but luckily Dirt Perfect has a ton of these tile cores. They are double wall culverts. These are the sections that are inside those big tile spools you see whenever they're running tile out in the field. This is what they wrap that pipe around. And you can normally get them in our area. You can get them from 15 to 20 bucks a piece. They're normally about 8 feet long. They're double wall. I think they're 18-inch. There's a couple catches with them that make them a little difficult to work with, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than paying full price for a culvert. Perfect. If you're wondering why we're doing the stone bridge now whenever we got all the other projects going, pretty simple. We are still battling intermittent, I don't think that's a real word, rain right now. So we haven't been able to get the dump truck painted, which has been frustrating. Area Diesel Service has tracked down a rebuild kit for the 755 and it is on the way, and I want to see what all comes in that kit because I'm going to have to order some other stuff as well, and the injectors are on the way up to them. So that should be taken care of soon. So there is a little bit of progress on that front. We're just trying to get all the parts rounded up. No sense of starting on the 755 if we don't have the parts. And when I got back from vacation yesterday, Dirt Perfect was using that dozer one lot down from where we live. Opportunity, really, is the reason we're doing it. How often has you got the dozer at your neighbor's place? You know what I mean? I actually brought this down because we got to do some trimming on the pipes, but I might as well go ahead and cut this tree up. We got to get it out of the way. Make it a little bit easier to use when we do the grapple. Kind of pull everything downhill with us, and then we'll try to find a place to sneak behind it and shove it over into where that burn pile is going to go. That grapple is definitely a game changer. That only took me 15 minutes to get those trees pulled out and pulled up on top of that. That'd take me half a day by hand or the old 755. We're gonna start getting this culvert in. We're gonna get spun around. It's normally easier to start on the downhill side. We don't really have to worry about level because of how steep it is. But if I start on that side, I can dig my way up. The dirt falls into the bucket easier. And then I can just, well, in theory, drive out. See if we can't get spun around here. Got this fancy movable counterweight on the back. Comes in handy. Where's the saw at? Right there. Okay. Let's line this up. Right about there. I'm gonna fire the dozer up and push myself some good material down the hill that I can take with the machine and kind of place and pack around that. Basically just going to heap some of this up on here to hold it into place best that we can, and then we'll slide over and do the next one. So this is the part that's not all that fun. Because these have been cut, they don't have bells and ends. I cut some ribs off of this. I just use my cordless saw, whatever chainsaw works. You got to cut all the ribs off of it, shave it up a little bit, make a couple of relief cuts, and then shove it in. It's a little time consuming, but again, 15, 20 bucks a pop compared to, I think if I was going to do 30 foot of this, which is what we're going to be close to, I'd be around $600, $700 for the culvert. So it's worth the time. Just be forewarned, if you do this part to getting them together, getting all the little pieces to slide in, it's kind of a pain in the butt. If you got two people, it makes it go a lot smoother like most things. I'll give her a gentle push with the machine. I need a hammer or a rock. If you're a perfectionist, this isn't going to be your style. I promise you that. There's going to be little gaps and stuff. If a fellow's worried about the culvert pulling stuff down, sucking material down, you can always lay fabric over that joint. We're rocking nothing but clay here. I'm not too concerned about it. But if you're just a functionalist like myself, it'll flow water. It'll flow fine. Just the finest of fill material here. You can see it's got a bunch of that good organic rebar mixed in. That's what helps hold everything together for us. Yeah, very nice. See if we can't go ahead and hill climb this thing out of here. We're not 100% done with it. We'll probably be stacking some rocks for a head wall by the time this is all said and done. Tricky thing with brake steering the diff lock. The grapple is heavier than the forks, but definitely still lighter than the bucket. Up and out. Up and out. There we go. All right. Is to take that hill down, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet and build this up with what we take out of that. Right now it kind of roller coasters out. We're just taking a little bit of that out, trying to smooth it, trying to limit the amount of G-forces people experience when they come down the driveway. People ask, Mike, what do you do with the plastic you cut off that pipe when you do that technique? Same thing I do with the pipe, you know? It's the same thing. The brakes got me on. The stone bridge is just right there, and we're going to do some cleanup work on this section as well. I think that shaved down pretty decent. I do need a little bit more dirt. We're going to try to get it off of that hill there. See if we can't fill in that outer corner just a little bit. As far as cleaning up this side goes, we'll do that with the 555. There's some stuff we need to grab out of there to go to the burn pile. We could do it with the D4, absolutely, but that machine costs me a lot more per hour to run than what the 555 does. So we're only doing what we have to do with the dozer. So there's the start of the road, and then we come around this corner here. We're going to try to peel this corner down to get the rest of what we need. But this is all of these floating rocks, so I don't know how feasible this is going to be. We're just going to go real slow so we don't tear the cutting edge up. Try to get some of these rocks out of the way and see if we can't grab, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet off. Might lose these 2 trees too. We'll just have to see what happens. My machine, we'd just be running through here full throttle and breaking what we break, but seeing as this isn't my dozer, we're going to try to be a little gentle on it. Where is that one at? Picking apart a mountain here. up taking, that's probably about 3 feet out of that, which really makes a big difference. Now all these little rocks here, those will come in later. We'll grab with the backhoe. We either try to grapple them or thumb and bucket them. We'll take them down and use them on the outside of that embankment we built. And then right here, we get that out of the way. I'll take the backhoe bucket and we'll dig along that and dig back to wherever the edge of that rock shelf is. Gives a cool exposed rock wall. We're not going to tear into that right now because it is starting to rain on a day that it's not supposed to. And I've got the dozer today. So we're going to try to keep focused on the dozer work. But that's the plan for that corner. And I think it's going to look really cool. And this turned out great. Look at that. Not bad at all. Again, some cleanup work on the edges, but we can do that with the old backhoe. There's the timber bridge standing strong. For anybody that's been wanting an update on that, well, let's just take a little gander at her. She's looking good. Need to come down and get the leaves off and put a coat of timber oil on it again. I try to put a coat on it every year. Holding up great. Finishing the railings is on this round of trail work where we get those railings finished up. That turns into just the hiking trail, which was pretty much a straight shot from up where the future rental on top of the hill will be. Hiking trail back to the Hoosier National Forest, and then we'll have the winding road back to another eventual rental. That's the big picture here that we're looking at. And stone bridge right there. So this last little section we're just kind of smoothing out. There's not a whole lot going into it. Nothing fancy on this side at all. We do have this to contend with, but there's a plan. If you remember when we cleaned out the world headquarters, which should return back to the channel in the fall sometime, we got all this rubble from when we widened out that door, and then all this stuff was down in the basement area when we were getting her picked up. So we're gonna take all of that and put it in that hole. Well, we got some, that's for sure. Now that's a fine looking road. My one concern here is that I've got a lot of weight on the front, these skinny little backhoe tires. And we didn't really do any compaction other than track compaction with the dozer. So I worry a little bit about sinking down. We'll see what happens here. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Let's see if we can climb out of this. Just because we're up and running with the grapple right now, let's go ahead and see if we can't get some of these rocks moved out. Alright, I bet we can get under that now. I don't know if I want to, but we're going to try.
this might just be a pushing rock, you know? That's probably the safe bet. Especially since when I lift it up, it lifts my drive tires. And I don't know what you know about backhoes, but that means no stopping. Oh God, oh, hold on, bud. We got it. All right, okay. Unbelievable. I'm sure there's still a few hidden in there, but that's got most of them moved down to there. I just dumped them haphazardly on the outside. We'll come down with the boom at some point and rearrange them a little bit, but that's kind of what we're looking like. That's a lot of cool rock. Makes a fella pretty happy. Let's see if we can't sneak the dozer across the stone bridge. Could you imagine? Just snaps in half as we go across. Good thing we built the road to it. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do on this section here. Oh, I gotta change your battery. You're running low. Side of the creek, it is completely different material. Not just the dirt, but the stone as well. Over here, we've got a bunch of sandstone that we deal with. On the other side, it's all that limestone. Still a type of clay for the most part. We're going to build this up a couple feet here at the bottom, get rid of that low spot that's by the approach. So this is eventually where the third or maybe the fourth rental will be, up on top of that hill. This road will continue to curve back up on around to get on top of that ridge. But that's a ways down the road. We're talking years down the road for that. I just want to be able to come past the bridge so we can do some work on the bridge and do this cleanup work and have a spot to come around and turn around and then get back out. So that is perfect. Here's what I'm talking about over on this side. It's just sandstone. Just doing a quick cleanup pass on the way out. Not really trying to peel anything, just trying to keep a little bit on the cutting edge. Not that it really matters. This clay is still really kind of too wet to work. I'd like it to be a little bit more dry, but whenever Mike's only a couple hundred yards away at a job site with the dozer I need to do the work I need to get done, well, we're just gonna make the best out of what we got. Make hay when the sun's shining or something like that. Of course, the sun's not shining, but we're making the hay anyway, I suppose. And really, the last thing I need to do with this dozer, I'm just gonna peel up some of this gravel. They dumped a whole bunch of stone up here whenever they planned on making this building. You can see the old foundation kind of sitting there to the right. We've got some videos of getting that cleaned up, and it's getting to the point where I need to come in and spray and mow and weed eat. We don't really keep it a golf course, we just keep it from being a forest again is all. But we're just gonna peel up some of this stone, put it in a pile where that concrete block was, and then later this week or the next video, we'll switch the bucket back over onto the backhoe. We'll take a couple scoops of stone down and put some stone on each end of the bridge. That way we can kind of keep those approaches or the edge of that bridge protected just a little bit better than what that mud's going to allow us to do. At least that's where my mind's at on it anyway. Culvert installed, road dressed up, looking good, rocks moved down, staged, ready to go. Probably 10, maybe 15 ton of stone sitting there, ready to dress up each side of the bridge, and plenty of parking here. I mean, they just layered it in here whenever they were getting ready to build on this. That's going back to dirt perfect. The backhoe is going to be doing the rest of the work, and hopefully, weather permitting, that'll be the next 2, 3, 4, 17,000 videos. That's a lot of videos, I know, but there's a lot of work to be done. Dump truck in there at some point. Rain, no rain. Rain, no rain. I need no rain, no rain, no rain. Then we can get it painted. That's the, right? It's just the pattern's not working out. This is your reminder, by the way, we do have a Patreon now. If you want to check it out, if you don't, ain't no worries. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your support. But if you want to pay $5 a month or you're able to, we've got a Patreon. We upload all these videos maybe a day or two early whenever I get them edited. I normally film, edit, release. It's like a 3-4 day cycle for me. Ad free, and then you get pictures throughout the week as well, little sneak peeks of the project. So if you want to support the channel that way, you can. If you're not able to or you don't want to do it that way, then don't. You know what I mean? I'm just glad you're here either way. You're gonna watch these videos, you could be doing anything, and you're here? Mind blowing. I'm appreciative. I hope I get to see you guys on the next one.